see you. Of course,
Yes.
we've known each other for some time.
Many years.
Many years, and I know what you do, of course. But share with the folks who you are and what you do.
I'm Cinde Anderson, and I work for Century 21 Northland Realty, and I have been there for 17 years.
17 years. Time is passing.
Time is passing.
That's very exciting. So, Cindy, share with the folks a little bit about you. I know you've been here in town for quite a few years, and I also know you're an Iowa girl. Is that correct?
It's just like you, Jeff.
Just like me. I'm not an Iowa girl, I'm an Iowa guy.
Yeah. So,
no, seriously, tell the folks a little bit about yourself.
My husband and I moved up here in '78, and I had worked for the Sentinel newspaper for a few years, worked for the Fairmont school system for a few years, and then I got into selling houses.
Awesome.
And I love it. So I've been married to my husband for 43 years. I have 2 kids.
That's awesome. Share with the folks a little bit when you say you're a Century 21. Tell us a little bit about what the job entails.
Okay, so I sell pretty much any kind of real estate there is. I do commercial and housing, farms, land.
Very good.
Yeah.
Now, how big an area does the Century 21 cover?
Southern Minnesota mainly. We go over to, I would say go over as far as Wells, to the east, to the west, past Jackson maybe a little bit. And then up to Louisville. That's kind of our little bit in southern Minnesota. But I'm also licensed in Iowa.
Oh, very good.
So my territory down in Iowa, I go down to Algona, over to...
Oh, so you go quite a ways into
an
hour or so down into Iowa.
And then over towards Esterville, to the west.
Kind of in your old stomping grounds.
Yeah. So,
So
the
cool.
Iowa girl, I know a lot of people in Iowa, so
Absolutely.
that helps. So I cover both states.
Awesome. Do you, you've been doing this for 17 years.
Yes.
Do you find the real estate business has changed over the years, or is it pretty much the same?
It's pretty much the same.
Okay.
In this area, it's... I can't say that we've had the ups and downs of the cities. We work in, it's rural, and we work, I always say, if the farmers do good, we do good. It's kind of that area of the country.
And how do you get the word out that Century 21 is interested in your house, and you have these houses for sale? And
Pretty much the internet.
Sure.
We do some advertising in the local papers, but pretty much people nowadays, it's all about going on the internet and looking for houses.
That's probably the biggest change in 17 years.
Yeah.
It's more there.
Yeah.
Now, I have seen the occasional billboard with your picture on it.
Yeah.
So there's also billboards.
Yeah. Got to advertise. But,
Really cool.
Yeah.
When in your office, how many people are in your office?
About, I'm going to say 20.
Oh my goodness.
Some full-time, some part-time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you want to list or sell, we have a lot of agents that'll work
awesome.
with you. Yeah.
Does the whole crew have into Iowa too, or
Nope,
are you
I'm
pretty
the
much,
only
you're
Iowa.
the exclusive Iowa
Yep.
person
Yep.
in the office?
Yeah.
You know, and talking about changes and how things have changed with the internet and different things. We have some footage of Dale.
Yeah.
You're probably who
my
you were
broker.
hired by.
I actually was. Yep.
Dale
Schumann.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was done in 2003.
Yeah.
When he was on Focus on Fairmont. Would you like to see that footage of him?
I would love to see that.
Well, let's check it
Awesome. Okay, thanks.
Welcome back to Hometown Focus. I'm Al Travis, and in with us now, Dale Schumann from Century 21 Northland Realty. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks a lot for having me, Al.
When we talk about technology and how things change, it really has in your line of work, as far as selling homes and that sort of thing. Give us a background first on Northland Realty. You've owned it for how long?
About 2.5 years.
But it's been in Fairmont, Century 21 itself.
20-some years.
20-some years. How have things changed for you in just the last 2.5 years?
The industry's really changing over the last 3 to 4 years, and it's just increasing speed, and with the internet, color color pictures, cell phones, Palm Pilots, you name it. Everything's just changing a lot faster.
Well, and there was a time, I think most folks, it isn't that far to remember, but you'd get a realtor to sign to be your agent. You'd get a lawn sign, and then that guy or gal, whoever she knew, she showed the house to. But that was kind of really the extent of it. Maybe an ad in the paper saying the house is for sale, but that was really kind of the extent of it, wasn't it?
Right. And now what they're saying, the national average is 65% of all people looking for a new house today start on the internet today. So that, you know, how the internet's changed, and now with high-speed internet access.
65%, does that even include, in Fairmont as an example, do you think Fairmontians that decide they want to move, they start that search here? Because it's kind of a close community. You kind of know
right.
by driving around town what's for
Might
sale.
be a smaller percentage in this area, but that's the national average is 65%.
What can somebody get now if they are doing that? If they're on the internet? If you went on the internet and you went to, and give us your internet site, you have one.
Quite a few of them.
Okay.
www.century21northlandrealty.com.
So I go to that.
Correct.
And what do I see? I mean, they're going to pop up a house. I can click on that. I mean, yeah, they're pointing me. It's on TV. We're showing them what you see. How much info can I get on a house?
You can get quite a bit on the house itself, information on the internet sites. We have links to all other kinds of stuff. You can find out about mortgages, about remodeling your house. Some of our internet sites will even, you can punch in the room sizes and they'll tell you how many gallons of paint that you need to paint the house, how much wallpaper to put on, the whole type of thing. I mean, it's just a phenomenal what you can get off of there now.
And percentage-wise, roughly, if you're not giving away too many corporate secrets, of the houses you have listed in Fairmont, how many are on the internet? How many of your possible inventory could I see?
All of our inventory.
Oh, 100%. Every house.
100% of our inventory is on. All have pictures on every one of our inventories. We all have what's called a home store 360 virtual tour. Some of them are just outside pictures. Some are inside pictures where you can actually go in and see the picture of the house, like an open house, except over your internet.
Well, when you say virtual tour, I don't think folks don't understand. You get 360. You can stand in a room, if you will, looking at the photo.
Ours are 360, not only 360 around, but you can look up and see the ceiling, the lights in the ceiling above, or see the carpeting on the floor, or the wood floor, or whatever. Not just the normal, panoramic view.
And is this, and obviously it has some plus sizes. People can get in and take a look at all your inventory without going to see you personally. But isn't that also a downside?
Not really.
Themselves kind of getting cut out of this?
Well, not really, because people are learning more. People are more knowledgeable today, and it used to be you'd run 30 people through every house, and a lot of the times the people weren't even interested in that house or had nothing with what they wanted. Now they can see what's going on, and they pretty well know what they want, and they can pick their houses out faster, and everyone's short of time nowadays.
Oh, okay. So instead of sending everyone through house A and see which ones think this is a decent enough house and then compare it to these others they come to you with a list of, hey, I've been on your site. We think these 5 or 6 houses are interesting to us, and you just show them those?
Right. This 360 home tour that we have. We haven't actually sold one just off of that, but we have had one house offered. The person was from Denver, Colorado, never actually was in Fairmont, never saw the house personally, just looked at it all on our 360 tour and made an offer. Didn't actually go through on a deal, but they are happening quite often.
How does that affect me wanting to list my house? If I come to Century 21, is it still more? Is it cost me more money than to go to you because you're going to give 360 tours of my house? How does it affect Joe Average who want to sell my house guy?
Well, commissions are between you and your individual agent with everyone, and some things are more expensive, but you, like anything else, you get what you pay for, and the more you get, like we have now, all our houses are not only on our 3 main portal websites that we have, and soon to be a 4th one. Our portals are also disseminating the listings out to smaller websites, and like Charters. When you get on Charter and you go to Charter's homepage, when you click onto real estate, it pops to one of our portals, and so you're going to see our real estate properties on that. If you use Yahoo, you're going to see our real estate properties, which we're one of the few in the area that have them on all these different sites. If you use AOL, you pop on real estate, you're going to see our properties. So ours are disseminated a lot more than just getting to know just what Fairmont, Minnesota has to offer. So you don't have to just look for www.century21
Northland Realty.
Realty, you can just pop on and click on real estate and say Southern Minnesota or Fairmont or by zip code or whatever you want, and ours are popping up everywhere because of the number of websites we're on.
Time's running out quick, but I want to. Obviously, interest rates have been a topic for quite some time, but they've never been a historic lows. Is this good or bad news in the realty world? And are you seeing a difference in Fairmont? My question: people just refinancing, living in the same spot, but refinancing? Or are you actually selling
Some people are
homes?
doing that, and some are selling. But believe it or not, some of the low interest rates are hurting some sales because the more reasonably priced houses, everyone can afford more than that now, and so it's tougher to sell the reasonably priced houses, and so the people that are in the reasonably priced that want to move up, we can't get theirs sold as easy because everybody can afford more of a house.
Is the
So
contingency plans, is that the contingencies then just keep piling up? Is that what happened?
Right.
That's tough. We got to go, but I want to ask, what's new for Northland Realty? What do you see in the future? What comes up after this? I mean, the internet has changed you guys a ton.
Right. Just more things with the internet. I mean, we have pictures. Before long, it'll probably be streaming video for houses sales and all kinds of things that'll be coming. And
you're
all our paperwork and everything will be on the internet. So, say if you're in a deal right now, we have a paperwork and a file in the copy or in the office. We'll have all the paperwork loaded up, and so you'll be able to get into the paperwork and see what's going on, the bank that you're financing with, the appraiser, the home inspector. Everyone involved in this process will be able to get onto the website with a special password and do their job, and so then the customer can see everything that's happening,
know
keeping
exactly
everything,
where you're at.
know where you're at and what's going on.
Appreciate you coming in, Dale. Do appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Al.
Well, that was very interesting.
Wow,
you know,
that
and Dale
was.
did a great job, didn't
I
he?
know. He kind of looked at the future and knew what he was
saw what was
doing.
coming, that's for darn sure.
Yeah, it's interesting because he passed away a few years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I got a chance to learn a lot from him. Since then, Wendy Imler has
Oh, sure.
purchased it. She is now our broker.
Very good.
So yeah, she does a really good job.
Yeah, he did great with that, and
Yeah, we
Wendy's
kind
doing a
of
great job.
Yeah, and we kind of take off with what he's taught us. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's wonderful. That
So,
was interesting.
Cindy, tell me about Fairmont, not just Fairmont, but the surrounding towns. People moving here, people
Mm-hmm.
coming to town, who are even people from the country,
Yeah.
and different things. What are some of the things that you think are drawing people into town?
A lot of it is if they're coming from the country, they want to downsize, they want to come to town now. And a lot of it is the health system. They do love the health system here. We have a lot. We have the restaurants. We're just kind of a big little town, and people
School
like
system,
that.
I'm sure.
Yep. Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's obviously we all enjoy the town and love
Yeah.
the town and the lakes
Yeah.
and different things.
Yeah, and that's a lot.
But it
right
has
there.
to appeal to people moving into the area, I would assume.
I get a lot of people that just sometimes come into town just to tour it. So we actually give a free tour. And,
Oh, awesome.
And we'll show them some houses that are for sale but empty and say, here's kind of what you get. This price of this house is kind of like this. And that really helps people to decide what
Whether it's in their
price
ability
range or
whatever.
yep. And they love it. When we take them around, we'll start on the north end and go around the city down to the south end. Most people who have not been in Fairmont are amazed how nice a town it is, and it's a very picturesque town.
Absolutely.
It is. When you drive around and see the lake and the houses, everything is very neat and clean. And I've had people from out of state who have shown houses say, wow, you have such a clean town.
You know, and I think
nice.
we as Fairmont citizens or the area
Yeah.
citizens kind of take that for granted.
I know.
You know, when somebody comes and visits us or you give a tour, same thing. People are like, look at this place. And
Yeah.
and even my wife and I will go, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
This is cool. And you
Yeah.
kind of take it for granted. Okay, Cindy, so now if I'm going to sell my home or somebody's going to sell their home, what kind of tips do you give them as far as what they need to do to prepare, price ranges and
Yep.
such they should be
Yep.
looking at?
So what I do if somebody calls me and would like to put their house up for sale, the first thing I do is I come in, I just say, I need to come through your house, just me, and I just walk through. It doesn't have to be immaculate. I just want to see it. So what I normally do is I'll go check out the house. I do, it's called a CMA, and it's a comparable market analysis on their house. Sounds big words for just coming to see. And what I look for is how many bedrooms, what's been updated, what style of a house. I kind of do an appraisal on the house. So I'll go back to the office, and then I put it on a computer, and I generate the price range that I think I can sell it in.
Okay.
And then at the same time, I will give them hints, or if they're up to it, some people just can't do it. But if you can do it, I give you kind of ideas of to declutter a little.
A little bit of improvement to make it
you know,
curbside.
and they'll always say, oh, declutter, take pictures off the wall. My suggestion is keep it homey. You live there. People come into your home that are looking to buy it. They like seeing your family pictures. They like seeing that you've lived here and your furniture, how you've arranged it. And they'll go, wow, I could actually put my couch where you have yours. I can picture this. Because there's a lot of people who are buying that don't have that insight of how you can put your furniture.
How to lay it out.
How to lay it out.
to
You
put
would
it
be
together.
surprised how many people are like, wow, this is beautiful. I love it just the way it is.
So do you think, just out of curiosity, do you think most people purchase these houses, and if you went in there a year later, it looks pretty much the
Pretty
same
much.
as the person who lived there before?
Yep. Yeah.
Same
Isn't that
layout,
funny?
same...
I have gone back, and sometimes they might change the wall color, but that's why they bought it.
They liked it.
They
liked
like
what
it.
they saw.
Yeah.
Now, difference between commercial and residential, another way of approaching it, or is it pretty much the same approach?
No, and commercial is a totally different. The laws feel that you should know what you're doing.
Sure.
So when you go to buy commercial, you check it out. Most people who are buying commercial are looking for square footage
Yep.
because they know that when they go in, they're going to
What
make
they're
it.
gonna utilize it.
Yeah. So there's sometimes that it's a restaurant and they're going to change it into a warehouse, or a warehouse into a restaurant. So that most of the time when I do sell commercial, it is pretty much all about square footage and what they can do.
Do
with
you
it.
find people that are buying commercial, or even houses for that
Mm-hmm.
matter, in Fairmont will consider a Truman a welcome?
That's funny you say that, because I can show them houses in Fairmont, but it's too close for them. They want to be in a smaller town. They like the smaller communities very much. We will have some smaller communities want to get to a bigger community. And some people have to get out and they want rural. They want to have an acreage. So it's just the type of people that.
And you
they
have
want.
enough variety in
Yep.
our area between the
Yep.
smallest of towns and a
Yeah.
nice sized town like
Yeah.
Fairmont
Yeah.
to put it together. Lastly, on that same note, farmland.
Yeah.
So locally, I'm assuming most of the potential buyers or sellers are from here.
Yeah.
Do they
pretty much.
probably know each other?
Well, no, not necessarily.
Okay.
You can have buyers actually that are from northern Minnesota actually and buying land because they need to do an exchange.
Okay.
They might have sold their land up there, want to buy some land down here, and there's different types of soil, different kinds of farmland. So we dig into that a little more. And so there's a little bit more when you're going to sell farmland than just land. It
Right.
depends on what kind of soil type and how much you're going to get. You got better soil type and you got better areas. If you have a river running through it compared to being flat, there's all different kinds of things with that.
Now,
too.
Dale touched on this a little bit when we saw the clip
Mm-hmm.
with him. But when people are looking to the internet,
Mm-hmm.
what percentage do you think use that as their first contact? Do you think it's a very high percentage, or do people stop in the office upon occasion?
Well, we have both, but definitely the internet. Definitely the internet, because when we put your listing on the internet, we put lots of pictures. So you really get a virtual tour. You get a tour of these homes that are for sale. And so if they like the layout, then they'll call me and say, "Hey, Cindy, we'd like to look at this house, this house, this house." And
Okay.
then once I go out with people, buyers, and show them houses that are up for sale, I kind of get a feel of what they're looking for.
Okay.
So then I could say, "Hey, I think maybe we should look at this house or this house." I just feel that, and more times than not, they go, "Oh my gosh, I would have never thought of looking at that house."
Sure.
But
And you kind of know after visiting one or two houses
Yes.
with them, the direction that they would
Yes.
enjoy or
Yeah.
like the home or the
and you
area.
get their personality, you get what they're kind of looking for.
Sure.
So then if it's not on the market at the moment, it will come on the market, and so then at that time I
And
will
you
give them
think
a
of
call.
them and
I'll give them a
go
call
back.
and say, "Hey, you need to look at this house. I think it's
Now,
something
when
you'd like."
we're talking about the internet so much and different things, I know you have a very elaborate website and Facebook presence too.
Yes.
Okay.
Both.
So when someone, going back to what you were saying about the internet, when someone visits your website, they can view pictures of the homes,
Yep.
locations,
Yep.
are the
Map
price
it.
points on there and
Yep.
such? Okay.
Everything. Anything that you can think of is on the website. Even your loan, if you want
Oh,
to see.
to
Yep.
determine what the cost,
Yeah.
monthly
Yeah.
cost
Yeah.
or whatever. Oh, well, this has been great. Learn a little bit more about the business and
Yeah.
about this Iowa farm girl
Yeah.
that came up to
Yeah.
Fairmont. That's awesome.
And selling houses.
And
right?
selling houses in Fairmont. Cindy, this has been a
Well,
pleasure.
Thank you, Jeff.
It's a pleasure seeing you again,
Oh, you
and
too.
we might have to have you back again someday.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks. I will.
All right.
See what changes.
Very good.
Yeah.
See ya.
Okay, thanks.